I'm the face of ADHD. You may be thinking now, oh, is she going to be bouncing off the walls or going off into a million different tangents? No. Just as each person is different, so is each face of ADHD. Here's my story. As a toddler, I would hide so well from my nanny that she'd think I was missing and call the police on me. And that once, I was bored during a family reunion, so I escaped through a window, ran out back to have my own pool party, which eventually everyone followed. It was because of situations like this that my frustrated single-parent mom would sort of consider the possibility that I was ADHD. So she discussed this to my teacher at that time, and it was dismissed for being normal at my age to have high energy and a really awesome expression of it. On to the third grade, though. First spelling test of the year, I received a 33%. A few spelling tests later, I still received around the same low grade. And this frustrated my tiger mom. And she even made me a deal, no TV until I get 100% on my next spelling test. And that didn't happen all year. Also, when I was doing work in school, I would take longer than the other kids. Even though they're already finished, I'd still be working on my assignment. And it would be frustrating for me and also overwhelming. Also, I would often disrupt my classroom by being very talkative and asking really interesting questions. Now, they knew I was smart, and they decided that something was up. And also because I forgot what I was saying, but that's okay. So they decided to get me tested. I remember this one test where I was sat in front of a computer for 15 minutes, and I had to click every time a letter popped up, except for the letter X, which I still clicked anyway. When the results came in, ADHD. Their next course of action after this was to get me medicated. I remember being guinea pigs for a while with different medications. Some worked, but they gave me side effects that were lack of appetite, lack of not wanting to sleep, and also higher anxiety than I already have. Eventually, I found something that worked, and this was around the end of my third grade year, and my teacher noted how well I benefited from medication. There's this one teacher, though, that later on in elementary school, I was also in the Gifted and Talented program. And for me, I just felt like this was a class where they gave extra work to anybody who they thought was smart. Work and I don't go well together anyway, so I was behind, and I was very behind. And the teacher, because of this, made me feel like I was dumb. And she also thought because of the ADHD, it would further prove that I didn't belong in this class. And she made me cry in front of everyone. And that's not a great motivator for any kid, but I still stayed in this class because I thought it was an honor to be here. Now, however, I go to a school for ADHD, dyslexic, and gifted and talented students. Here, they're better equipped to deal with kids who have more individualized learning needs. And here, I also learn skills and techniques to help me deal with what I have. One skill that I have learned here is organizational skills. I have a planner in which I write down the amount of time my work would take and also how long it actually took. This would help me with time management skills. Also, I have a homework folder in which I put the work that I have done and what I have to do and what I've finished. And I'm now working that I have a folder for each of my classes. Worst case scenario right here. Thank you.
The skills that you learned.
The skills that I've learned. Most importantly, I was thought confidence here. I'm not showing this right now, but I learned how to be a self-advocate, and I've also learned how to ask my teachers for help, and hopefully they would give it to me. ADHD is attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. It's a diagnosis given to somebody who has high energy, difficulty paying attention, and also who are impulsive, but to a point where it interferes at home, school, or socially. For me, I'm combined type ADHD, which means that I have both hyperactive, impulsive, and inattentive symptoms, which are one symptom I can only remember now is being often forgetful, which I've shown pretty well. I feel this as a barrier as a kid when I was having trouble with my homework and when I felt weird because of the things I would do without thinking. To combat this now, I have learned to organize myself, and I have also learned how to take a step back and be aware of what I'm doing. I go to a school where everyone is wonderfully unique and talented, and a majority of them have learning differences, but they all know how to shine their own light. Like you, I know that all of you have something that you struggle with. So if we can learn how to work through them and to find a way how to deal with them, I'm sure we all can live a bit easier. Thank you.